Flooding Nicholas Cruz, the alleged shooter.
Say 19-year-old Nicholas Cruz was
alleged Florida gunman Nicholas Cruz
as 19-year-old Nicholas Cruz, a former student at Marjory Stoneman Douglas High School.
Hello, my name is Nick, and I'm going to be the next school shooter of 2018. My goal.
We take action in those situations when it involves other crimes. So take something like, for instance, child pornography, or that. If we hear someone bragging about that, or if we heard someone talking about committing suicide, we certainly would raise questions about it, have it asked it, in some cases, whether it's family, friends, or the authorities, have it investigated. So.
I think that is a really difficult question, because I think it should definitely be looked at and taken into consideration, but I don't think it should be the main point of the punishment, or like the main aspect when deciding on the punishment.
I have a strong bias against where to place someone. I think that as humans we need interaction. We were not created to be in solitude for such a long period of time, and so to put Cruz in solitary confinement would, I think, make matters worse. It would not help him at all. So I would consider that, and perhaps put him in a place where he is able to interact with counselors, with therapists, with people that could help him. But either way, putting him in solitary confinement would make things worse, in my opinion.
So the way I would make guns more restricted, I guess, is through the background check process, because I don't think taking them away from people is a good idea. And so I think through background checks there should be a way to monitor mental health, because a lot of what we're seeing has to do with, like, when there is a mass shooting, there's something to do with the person mentally, that they're either unstable or something of that nature.
We do know we have cases where shooters have intentionally chose gun-free zones. So if someone sees that there is posted, it says armed guard or teachers or whatever, that may actually be a deterrent.
Having guns and teachers be able to bear arms would be just preparing ourselves for, or saying that this is bound to happen, and it's not really fixing the problem. So I don't think it would necessarily help. It would just make the professor, the teacher, or the school feel a little safer, but not necessarily dealing with the root of the issue.
Pros would be they wouldn't get as much publicity. I guess there wouldn't be a fan base or an ideology around them. Cons would be that we wouldn't know that these events were happening. We would just know that people were dying, but we didn't know who was responsible.
I can't actually think of hardly any cons of not mentioning their names. I think news media should not be mentioning the names of the shooter, to not give them any kind of exposure. We do know now that some shooters actually are aware and cognizant that they will have their 5 minutes, 15 minutes of fame in doing this. And so one deterrent will be their name shouldn't be mentioned. That should be strictly for private use.
Death threats, just threats in general, bullying and anything harmful or hateful should be taken seriously. Stuff that shouldn't be taken seriously, I would say, is just clowning around. Like if you use an emoji or anything silly or goofy like that, but if you actually mean it, or there's any malintent, I think it should be taken seriously.
I really don't think there's any negatives in dealing with a mental health issue at an early age. That could honestly be the thing that prevents kids, teens, adolescents from walking out the things that we've seen in the news happen as young adults. So I think there's more positive in being able to identify certain triggers, certain mental issues that kids at an early age are starting to perhaps demonstrate. And so I think it's more positive than negative to have certain classes or things at an early age.
I tend to prefer liberty over security. The more security and safety you push for, the less liberty you will have.
The amount of armed guards per school would obviously depend on the size of the school. As long as they're able to be quick and effective on reaching the problem area or whatever is happening on campus, like if they can reach that quickly and effectively, that would be ideal. Maybe go with like one per building or one per every couple buildings, depending on, the size and how long it would take to navigate hallways with people, all that type of stuff. So there's a lot of different factors, but I think, armed guards should probably be on school campuses at this point.
Perhaps he wasn't getting the proper treatment he needed, or no one took him seriously in what he said or did. Another possibility that he could have just hid it very well and never showed it to anybody, but then you can go back and say that the social media posts, so I guess you could say no one took him seriously at all.
Since 2009, there have been 288 school shootings in the United States alone, compared to the 5 school shootings there have been between Canada, France, Germany, Japan, Italy, and the UK.
There are 1.7 million homes in the U.S. that have unlocked and loaded guns.
A total of 307 mass shooting incidents have occurred as of October 27, 2018.
Buyers must be at least 21 years or older to purchase any firearm in Florida. There is a waiting period of longer than 3 business days or until the background check is clear unless the purchaser has a concealed carry permit or is trading in a different firearm, or the purchase is for a rifle or a shotgun and the purchaser has completed a 16-hour hunter safety class in addition to holding a hunter safety certification card, or the purchaser is law enforcement or military.
The most deadliest mass shootings have occurred within the last 12 months, including Stoneman Douglas High School.
Mason Mulvihill, it's up to us.
Will Camps, it's up to us.
My name's Angel, and it's up to us.
My name is Taylor Irby, and it's up to us.
My name is Cassandra Lopez Martinez, and it is up to us to stop gun violence incidents in American schools by changing our current gun policies.